Taylor Kinney is leaving Chicago Fire, and if you've been following Lieutenant Kelly Severide's tenure in Firehouse 51 from the beginning, you might be wondering why he's leaving the show after more than 10 years. The fictional Firehouse 51 of the Chicago Fire Department is the subject of the drama series Chicago Fire on NBC. The show follows the professional and personal lives of firemen, rescue workers, and paramedics there. In the first season of Chicago Fire in 2012, Kinney made his television debut as Lieutenant Kelly Severide, a lieutenant at Firehouse 51 and an officer in command of Squad 3. Kinney admitted that he didn't experience any anxiety prior to his Chicago Fire tryout in a 2023 interview with NBC. "I was good at it because I was in the audition circuit a lot," he claimed. "I recall never experiencing worry. Although I was anticipating it, you sort of leave it up to the forces that be. The audition went well," he added, "and 10 years later I'm still here bugging you while you fold laundry through your televisions." He reflected on his previous employment, which included carrying golf clubs, before beginning his acting profession. He claimed, "I carried golf clubs for older ladies who didn't know how to play golf. It was annoying, but I would occasionally earn enough money to pay for a medium Pizza Hut thin crust pizza and a Saturday night Blockbuster rental." Gratitude, Old Women. News that Kinney would be leaving the series in early 2023 came out after she had played Lieutenant Severide in Chicago Fire for more than 10 years. What happened to Lieutenant Kelly Severide, and why did Taylor Kinney quit the Chicago Fire Department? Continue reading to learn more about Taylor Kinney's departure from Chicago Fire and the cause of his abrupt departure. Taylor Kinney left Chicago Fire for what reasons? On February 22, 2023, Kinney, who portrayed Lieutenant Kelly Severide on Chicago Fire from seasons 1 to 11, appeared in his final episode. At the conclusion of episode 14 of season 11 in the episode, Run Like Hell, Severide meets up with his wife, Stella Kidd, at Molly's Pub, where she questions him about Captain Tom Van Meter, a commander and an arson detective for the Chicago Fire Department's Office of Fire Investigation, with whom Severide has previously collaborated. Kidd questions Severide about Van Meter, and Severide responds by showing her his phone. She looks surprised and says, "Wow. How will you proceed?" Van Meter informs Deputy District Chief Wallace Bowden Jr. in the following episode, Damage Control, that Severide had left Chicago to enroll in the best arson investigation training school in the world, a last-minute chance that was too great to miss. Although Bowden expresses disappointment to Van Meter, he acknowledges that the training will benefit the firemen when Severide returns. What caused Taylor Kinney to quit Chicago Fire then? According to a source close to the production, Kinney was taking a leave of absence from Chicago Fire in January 2023 to handle a personal matter, which raises the possibility that he might return. According to Deadline, Kinney's leave of absence was announced to the Chicago Fire actors and crew on January 20, 2023, and any upcoming scripts would be revised to reflect Kinney's absence. Kinney reflected on his more than 10 years on Chicago Fire in an interview with Us Weekly published following the season 10 conclusion in 2022. "The significance of being a member of something with such longevity is never lost on me. It's a tribute to Dick Wolf and the group of individuals he assembles," he said. He recently finished season 10. "That is significant. I'm anticipating season 11. I don't have access to the screenplays or the details of where they plan to take it. I have no idea, but I'm eager." In a conversation with The Hollywood Reporter before Chicago Fire's 5th season finale in 2019, Kinney also discussed his length of service. "The foliage is difficult to see through. I might be able to take a decent step back and soak it all in during the break," he thought. But considering how long ago we began, particularly with network shows, the majority of these never even make it past the pilot. So getting that going, and then getting a pickup for 13 episodes, and then you get a little bit of rhythm, and then you start airing, and then we were getting our sea legs trying to figure out what worked and what didn't, he added. "We had no idea whether we would receive a back nine pickup because there are no assurances. Then we obtained that. One of my proudest professional moments occurred when John Roman, our line producer for seasons 1, 2, and 3, gathered the actors and crew and announced that we had been picked up for season 2. It gave me a sense of validation that viewers enjoyed and watched the show. As the first program in the One Chicago franchise, Chicago Fire expanded into Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and Chicago Justice, the majority of which he has appeared on. Kinney also discussed this with The Hollywood Reporter. As these spin-offs continue, things can get hectic. But I recently noticed a poster on one of our stages that featured the complete cast of Fire, PD, and Med, he said. You can see it expand little by little, but it only has one Chicago in about 50 characters. It's a lot to process to see that. And now that Justice is here, I'm incredibly humbled and pleased. Kinney's departure occurred 3 months after Derek Hawes, co-showrunner and co-creator of Chicago Fire, revealed he would be departing the program at the conclusion of Season 10. Chicago Fire and FBI will continue to receive amazing episodes from me, even though I'm leaving Wolf Entertainment next year to concentrate on making new programs. International, until the conclusion of the current seasons, has stated at the moment. I learned everything I know about storytelling, pace, characters, production values, and hiring the best cast, crews, and staffs from Dick Wolf and Peter Jankowski. And as hard as it is to leave a place you love and have called home for over a decade, including incredible support from Universal Television, NBC, and CBS, I look forward to building my own brand in entertainment. From seasons 1 through 10, Jesse Spencer portrayed Lieutenant Matthew Casey on Chicago Fire. He also departed the show in the 200th episode, which aired in October 2021. On the basis of his life-altering decision to move to Oregon with a 3-year commitment, Casey was fired from Chicago Fire in the episode. According to Variety, Hayes admitted to having bittersweet feelings, or just bitter feelings about Spencer's departure during a press conference at the moment. In addition, he praised Spencer for years of amazing friendship, service, acting, and making the show credible, and admitted that, despite its positive outcome, Casey's final episode was challenging to write. Spencer revealed on the same news conference that he left Chicago Fire because he wanted to devote more time to his family and realized that he had worked in television for 18 years straight, and different job options. At the time, he said, "I hate to leave the show because I do adore this show, but when the time comes, the time comes." When Spencer called Haas to inform him of his departure, they mutually decided that Casey's final episode would be Chicago Fire's 200th episode special. Spencer went on to clarify this. Everybody agreed that anything after the first 13 shows was a bonus, according to Haas. I simply feel like we've been living on borrowed time for a very long time, and of course I wanted to persuade Jesse to return, and do everything for as long as we could. But I was glad that he stayed on for 5 more episodes rather than just leaving at the conclusion of the previous season, because that allowed us to revive a Season 1 storyline involving the Darden boys. Though he left in the middle of Season 10, Casey made a short cameo in the Season 10 finale when Severide and Kid get married. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel, Hefast GOSFIP24, and stay with Tess.